Hi beauties, welcome back to another video. My name is Randy and today I'm going to show you a natural but glowy makeup tutorial. I want to preemptively apologize about the traffic sounds. We are really close to a road and I don't have a separate mic yet for my camera, so it's really hard to drown out those sounds, but they shouldn't be too bad. I have a little bit of lip balm on my lips because I hate having dry lips when I'm doing my makeup because everything kind of sticks to them. First, I'm going to start with concealer. This is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. I don't know if you can see that. Can't see myself in this camera particularly, so I'm still adjusting to that because my old camera I could. My shade is 16N, which is Fair Light Neutral. So I'm just going to... I always do a few dots under my eyes, and then I'll cover whatever acne spots I have. So really, you can go as light or as heavy as you want here. I always try to make sure I feel covered enough so it feels like a makeup look, but I don't want to feel too cakey because the whole point is to feel light and natural. Shoot, I realized I have to wet my sponge. Now that our sponge is wet, I'm just going to dab that in. I forgot about my little mirror here. So as you can see as I'm blending it, it's like covering and making my skin tone look more even, but it's not completely covering up every square inch of my skin. It's still showing some natural spots. By the way, I'm trying to talk in between the cars, so if you notice it's taking a while for me to get through a sentence, that's why. Or if there's a lot of cuts in the editing. So now that we have a nice even face, we're going to go over it with a powder. But this is the Tarte Shape Tape. It's in the shade 29S or Light Medium Sand. I have been using the shade all winter, so as you can see, it's pretty used up. So I'm just going to go in with a big puffy brush and just lightly help cover up more of what the concealer didn't and get rid of the oily shine. Now that I have a solid base on my face, I'm going to use the Ilia, this is the Daylight Highlighting Powder. I have also been using this one for a while and clearly love it. This is just going to give a soft little glow and a little here. Is this called the Cupid's bow? I think this is the Cupid's bow, right? Inner corners. So now that I have a little glow, I don't want to look too washed out, so I'm going to go in with the Too Faced. This is a bronzer. It's their Sun Bunny bronzer. So a separate fluffy brush into the Sun Bunny. Give us a little bit of a glow. With any natural look, you want to make sure you don't look like washed out. Always put a little bit of bronzer underneath my jawline to kind of enhance it. And then I take a little and do a light contour of the nose. Since we're doing a light makeup look, which if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I put a little bit on the bottom part of my nose and I kind of squeeze the brush to make it smaller just because I'm lazy and I don't feel like using a smaller brush. You can use a smaller brush. But you know, put a little on the bottom and then on the outside corners like that. But you know, don't get the part that you highlighted right here. I always highlight this little top part and then the little tip. But I always leave out the center Because if you highlight that, then you just look like you have like one little straight nose. But if you have this, it kind of highlights my button nose, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what it's called. Anyway, that's just how I do mine. Do yours however you want. Now we can move on to the eyelids. You have two options here. You can use the bronzer that you just used for your cheeks and just go in with like a fluffy eyelid brush, kind of like a blendy brush. That's what I use just because I feel like it doesn't put on as much, it's not as harsh. And basically just use the bronzer and kind of blend it in lightly. But what I'm gonna do a little lighter than that just because I'm not that tan right now. So it would look a lot harsher on my skin tone. I'm gonna go in with my Sweet Tart palette. This is the Double Shot eyeshadow palette. You see that? It's the Sugar Rush, which by the way, their Sugar Rush bronzer is amazing as well. I'm sorry it's a little dirty. I've had this thing for a while. But these are all the colors. But my advice to you is swatch a few of your lighter shades on your wrist and see which one kind of is just a slight bit darker than your natural skin tone. So for me, it's this one. Can we see it? I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. And that's why I feel comfortable doing it on the blendy brush because it's so light. And I just kind of go in a windshield wiper motion and just blend that in. Here, so you can see. And that just gives a little depth to the eye so you don't look like you're wearing no makeup necessarily. But it's so natural that it literally just looks like natural shadowing of the face. So yeah, now we have a nice little natural shadow on our eyes. I just realized all the eyeshadows have names. So the one that I just use is Dulce de Leche. Let me say that as not great as I can, I'm sorry. I apologize. I am losing light here. It seems like the sun is setting. I was thinking that I would have more time because daylight savings or whatever is like coming to an end or whichever one it is. I don't know. It's getting lighter later. So let's go on to the second from last final step, mascara, which is easy. I just recently did a what's in my makeup bag video and I showed you a different mascara because the mascara that I showed you in that video, it turns out I did not like it. So I got this one, the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. And I love it so far. I hate trying to do mascara on camera. So usually if I was doing darker eyeshadow, I would really try to layer the mascara. But since we're doing a lighter look today, we're just gonna go pretty light on the mascara. So I'm just gonna do like 2 layers. Okay, so I'm gonna try to quickly finish up because my camera just died. So the final few steps, we're gonna clean up with a little piece of toilet paper that I wet in the sink. And I'm just gonna take whatever powder is on my eyebrows, take that off because we don't want our eyebrows to look like ashy or like dirty. And obviously do whatever you do for your eyebrows if you don't like your natural brows. But I'm using, I'm sorry, I'm trying to rush because the camera. I use this e.l.f. brow gel. It's the Brow Lift gel. And you can see there's a glob in there and that's from the one time that I didn't bend my brush all weird like that. So, sorry, I don't have time. I guess I can try to make time to help that focus. So I just dipped it in there and kind of brush them up. And for me, I feel like it just kind of gives them like a little bit of a darker look once you kind of push it in like that, you know? And it kind of makes them look a bit more lifted and natural. instead of doing the harsher eyebrow pencil. Oh, and the absolute final step before my camera dies, lip pencil. We have the Revlon. This is in the shade Sienna. And I would just use whatever lip pencil is kind of your go-to like neutral shade. This is, it never does that, I swear. I'm not a huge fan of the Revlon pencils, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer NYX or NYX, however you say it. Now, I don't really overline my lips. You can if you'd like. I don't like the way it looks once it gets in my Cupid's bow. It sometimes inevitably does, but like once I rub my lips together, but. All right, I guess we can do this as the last step. We have a clean Q-tip here. If you wanna just go in, here, let me do this without poking my eye out. Go in the corner and kind of get whatever makeup product has traveled. And then I always feel like a little bit of foundation collects here. You know what I'm saying? And there we have it. We have a fresh, clean makeup look. Basically a no makeup look. If you liked today's video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up as well. If you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and find me on there. I do Makeup Brush Mondays where we wash our makeup brushes every Monday to keep up with that. And I also post daily fashion and beauty content there. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.